Rod Malloy. He is working on his 8th project, and his title of the speech is going to be 16 Days of Jackson. And he's also going to be on Bart Hawley's show this afternoon promoting Dahlem's Holiday Extravaganza. Is that correct?
Sure, you got it.
Okay. So let's welcome Rod Malloy.
Can we turn the lights down a little bit in this area for the purpose of the presentation? And I have an attitude of gratitude this morning because of my new friend Aaron, who has helped with his core area of expertise here with IT, audiovisual, and also running to another floor to get a flip chart, even though there was one on this floor. So thank you for coming on my behalf and on behalf of Toastmasters. I'm grateful for that. There we go, perfect timing. I do need a pen. They're in here, right, Aaron?
Yes.
All right, scented markers.
It's like breakfast.
That might be a little extreme.
Cinnamon.
Dark.
The message of this morning's presentation is 16 Days of Jackson, which is a social media experiment. I'm not going to have time to explain the social media experiment, but know that on December 1st, if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google+, or any other new social media that may come up or pop up between today and December 1st, you'll see the first story of 16 Days of Jackson posted. In addition to that, you're all welcome to collaborate with 16 Days of Jackson like Grant has offered to do. Those of you who have heard previous presentations in this club may have heard Grant present on Summer Night Tree and the Consumer's Energy Glass Art. And those two stories are going to be part of the 16 Days of Jackson. So that's exciting to me. So what I'm going to do is use the flip chart first to describe the first question that has been asked of me when I talk about 16 Days of Jackson. I'll let you guys guess. What do you think the first question is when people say, what is 16 Days of Jackson?
Is that your first
That's
one?
my first question.
I'm the tourism office, I can say that. It's
That's
funny.
awesome. No, the first question I've had multiple times, why 16? This goes back to my previous speech about numbers, so it's all about the numbers. But if you look at this, what is 16 divisible by, or dividable by?
4.
So 4 quadrants. And there's going to be 4 stories in each of the quadrants in the 16 Days of Jackson. By the way, that was not pre-planned, it just happened to fall that way, it's just the way things are. So that if you look at this as a grid, there's, of course, the word natural over here, and the word innovative over here. And I add the word service, innovative service, and then natural nourishment over here. Something that is a little radical in terms of the other axes. It's going to be something interesting, sort of as the sun rises, think of the sun being on the top and the sun setting, leaving us with the moon in the evening. And if you think about some of the different stories that you're going to see in this presentation, try to think of where they might fit into this grid. I'll give you 4 examples of where these things might fit. The things that Grant has worked on, I believe, fit in this grid up here. So I'm going to put art in general in this grid. Even though art can be innovative, it is, to me, sort of a natural expression of humanity. And it's something that is sort of, on this side of the axis, sort of bringing brightness, something that art looks better with light often, and often art is all about light. So down here, believe it or not, the story of Dahlem, I'm going to put down in this grid. And the purpose of that is it's on the nature side, but it's also, to me, sort of organic and sort of the soil and sort of the things that are more of the earth and all of the natural things. So I see it could fall either side of this continuum, but I like to think of it sort of from a night perspective for myself personally. So I have Donald down here. Over on this side, and this since Jennifer Hill, or Jenny Hill as she's known at the YMCA, she had mentioned prisons, and prison tours are over here. Now you might think, why is that innovative service? But thank you, it is. I'll explain that later perhaps. But, and then the last quadrant, let me look at my notes. I gotta remember my last good idea from this one. Let's see. My favorite. Civic clubs in Jackson. They're very, they're to me the epitome of innovative service, and they're also something for myself and for thousands of other people. They bring light and life to the community. And it might be Lions Club, Rotary, Kiwanis, Daughters of the American Revolution, Exchange Club, clubs that have been in Jackson for 100 years or more, and they've done incredible things in this community. So I'm going to put this over here so it's out of my way. But can everybody see it? You guys in the back, can you see that?
Yeah, sort of. It's too dark.
So let it roll, Bill. And I have an attitude of gratitude for my assistant, Bill. I realize that as I do these kind of things, it's often important to have people to help and know what they're doing. So the first one, nature and music. So they're not four categories here. I don't want you to get confused. I want you to think about the four quadrants, but this presentation has more in it than just those four, but you will see 16 topics. A river runs through it, or two or three. What's so grand about Jackson? That will be one of the stories. I'm not going to tell you a lot about these things yet. It's going to be left to your imagination, and you have to look for the stories during the 16 days of Jackson beginning on December 1st. Number two, 280 acres of South Central Michigan. Those of you who know me know what I'm talking about there. Number three, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey. And Bill is also part of the 15 collaborators. He's writing the story for the music component of the 16 Days of Jackson with the theme, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey. The next section, food keeps us going for more entertainment. So nourishment, we need Jackson conies to keep us moving, keep us striving for more. A little mustard with your coney. That's actually pretty disgusting, isn't it? Putting mustard on a Jackson coney. Pretty bad. Number five, Johnny Cash, Reva, Bob Seger, and of course, Godsmack, all right here at the Jackson County Fair. They've all played at the county fair. So the county fair will have a portion of 16 Days of Jackson. Number six, Dr. Death spent time in cell block 7, which is now part of the prison tour. And we all know who that is, right? Next slide. Kevorkian. Art and culture inspire hopes and dreams. Number 7, Ellis Sharp preserves Jackson history, a county of 160,000 people. Number 8 is what I had referred to with Grant, Summer Night Tree, or as I've called it, and Grant has called it, now a black exploding chicken for all to see or in some cases to crash into. And then the consumer's glass. Number 9, the historic train station, ready for prime time. 100 years of incredible innovation, vision, and service. The Sparks family, leaving us with the Cascades. The founding father of Jackson, Mr. Foote, who set the foundation for both Allegiance and Consumers, which employs many people here. Number 12, Temple Beth Israel, founded during the Civil War, the second Reformed congregation in the state of Michigan. And number 13, as I had mentioned before, civic clubs in the 100 years of history right here in Jackson. Civil War ghosts and top 10 lists. This is the one that gets a little radical. This is why it's going to be sort of towards the end of the 16 Days of Jackson. Number 14, ghost stories from Bellanote and the story of Little Mary, the legendary Jackson ghost stories. Number 15, Civil War evidence hidden all around the city of Jackson. It's out there, you just have to look for it, the evidence of our Civil War history. And then somewhere out there, Jackson is in a top 10 list, And it's a good top 10 list, not one of the bad ones like worst places to live. It's actually in a list of one of the best places to live. So in closing, this is one little image of Jackson. Anybody know where that is? Yeah, Jackson Airport. And when we have time, I'm going to show you that video. That's a video that's embedded into this particular presentation of What Does the Fox Say? Which is a little added fun from a local watering hole in Jackson. So thank you very much. 16 days in Jackson.